it up. I wake up. Yeah.
I wake up,
Flex,
thumb down now,
check,
no drip this,
wet,
tell 'em run it up, no sleep, no
rest,
might crash, might
rap,
but first I
stretch,
tell 'em run it up. I wake up,
flex,
thumb down now,
check,
no drip this,
wet,
tell 'em run it up, no sleep, no
rest,
might crash, might
rap,
but first I
stretch,
tell 'em run it up.
9 out of 10 roll through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turned to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number one up on that court, I'm Nick McGrady. The first one in, the last one out, can't call me lazy. Put in my hours, send the invoice and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ and Tom Brady.
I wake up,
flex,
thumb down now,
check,
no drip this,
wet,
tell 'em run it up, no sleep, no
rest,
might crash, might
rap,
but first I
stretch,
tell 'em run it up. I wake up,
flex,
thumb down now,
check,
no drip this,
wet,
tell 'em run it up, no sleep, no
rest,
might crash, might
rap,
but first I
stretch,
tell 'em run it
Y'all
up.
gon' make me take that trip way out to Europe. I call up Nigeria, come through in a hurry. Those London boys don't come to play, you should get worried. One false move, find yourself there getting buried. Dance with the devil, used to love playing those games. Made some bad decisions that brought my mama pain. I made a promise to her, swore that I would change. I'm on the come up, bet I live up to my name.
I wake up,
flex,
thumb down now,
check,
no drip this,
wet,
tell 'em run it up, no sleep, no
rest,
might crash, might
rap,
but first I
stretch,
tell 'em run it up. I wake up,
flex,
thumb down now,
check,
no drip this,
wet,
tell 'em run it up, no sleep, no
rest,
might crash, might
rap,
but first I
stretch,
tell 'em run it up.
Good morning all. Hope everyone is well, hope everyone is doing good. See where all systems go here. As far as I can see, everything looks good. And yes, we do look like we are working. And yeah, Toto fresh shirt. He's rocking it. Flower power, bro. Like it. So yeah, let's get into it. Morning. Alright, let's have a look at news here. Put away this OBS alert. So yesterday was CPI. Big day yesterday. Heavy movement in the market here. We saw numbers come back hot, right? We saw numbers come back higher than expected. Weighing in on those rate hike hopes going down. Rate reduction hopes going down. And to keep rates higher for longer. Which is why we saw the dollar rally yesterday. So dollar had an incredible rally if you look at Dixie here. And barely retraced it, man. Continued, which is nuts. That's a very strong rally. One of the strongest rallies we've had in a while. Yeah, pretty a crazy rally here. Obviously sending gold down and sending markets down, etc. Even weighed into people selling off the GBP here and putting money into the dollar. So that's what we saw basically going on to the markets yesterday. Is everyone left their currencies and put money into the dollar yesterday. So if we have a look at what we got going on for today, London session is pretty much clean here. Looking at, a little bit around, we have some Euro news if you're trading Euro around New York session. And then we have PPI today as well, in and unemployment claims in New York here. Otherwise, we're pretty clean here overall in terms of London session. So let's go have a look at what technicals have done with this big move down. So obviously we've been moving up during the week here. Nice little correction down. This is quite nice because it gives us a pullback to potentially continue if we want to continue this bullish trend. If we look at this zoomed out here, it's very similar to this, right? We pull back heavy, we try to retest, and then later when we get above, it gives an easy move. We pull back heavy, we retest, and if we can get above, we should get a move, right? Now, if we start to lose this area, I would say lose 371. That's where we're going to see the downside probably start to come. That's where we're probably going to see the downside start to play out here. Let's have a look at, start on daily time frame first and then work our way down from there. So looking at daily time frame here, we can see previous daily did end up closing bearish, of course, after that rejection from the upside, but still respecting the top of this daily range here. I want to see if other brokers have a top wick on the daily. No, most dailies do not have a top wick here. I'm going to check my broker just to triple check this, because that could be interesting if we know that daily does not. So I have a gap on my broker. Okay, I see how it works. Yeah, so we have a gap today. Today we have a gap. Daily has a top wick on my broker, but there is a gap here. So we opened up on a gap. Let's see if this chart here shows that 15-minute gap. Yeah, this is your gap here. This is a gap on the charts here. So I'd like to see this gap filled first. This area right here is a gap. That's a gap on the charts. So I'd like to see that filled first. But moving down, back onto the other time frames here. Let's go on the 4-hour time frame and continue our analysis. So previous daily closing bearish, current daily also is, looking like it's rejecting now. If we go and look at the 4-hour here, we can see 4 hours basically kind of starting to form some form of consolidation. For continuation to the upside, we need to get not only above this 4-hour, but outside of this range. If you look at this range all the way from back here, you can see how this range has been issues. Every time we get above it, we have continuation, get above it, have continuation, or we can trade to it, right? But right at this zone, we've always had problems. Even on the way down, it's where we retested into and then left. When we came on our way up, it's where we found our resistance, big resistance, before continuing up. When we came here, we didn't have much of a reaction, but when we got above, that's when we had our next leg. So I feel if we're going to do this, it's going to happen somewhere in here, and that's why we need to get above to see that continuation, retest the highs, and potentially continue here. So that's why I have a line drawn. So if I bring back my drawings, I've drawn the line based on that previous 4-hour there. So I feel if we can get above that, will be interesting. Can we take buy and target daily flip? Well, the daily has a top wick already and has What's this? It already has a top wick. It's just because of these brokers are not showing the gap. Check your broker, you'll see there's a gap. There's a gap here on your broker. This is a gap. This area here should be a gap. So that is basically what we got going on here, right? So we're in a mixed session here. If price does want to continue this momentum towards the downside and we see dollar strength continue, then we can easily see price start to move towards the downside here. Now, the only issue I have with buying here is that we are at the most dangerous levels that we have been. Now we are confirmed in very danger zone. We are almost at freaking 153. We tapped 153 on USD/JPY. USD/JPY interventions for the last year have been coming at 151, 900, 152. Every single time we tapped into the zone, we've had interventions, right? Where they buy up the yen and we see. If we look at Gbpjpy here, Gbpjpy has crashed basically, right? Gbpjpy has crashed. We've seen Gbpjpy move very low at low points here. If the JPY is going to intervene, it's going to happen in the next one, probably by end of week here. We're either going to see it today, right? We're either going to see it today or we see it on Friday, right? So it's hard to know when an intervention is coming, but we need to be cautious at these levels. So I rather try get in and out of a position as fast as possible instead of trying to hold something over the whole day, where possibly a random intervention could come into the market. At least if we continue to scalp, that will, you know, allow us to avoid potential scenarios where we might see an intervention, right? For some reason, I don't think they'll intervene. They had their chance and they already did some days ago. They just wasted money. I think there is a chance. We just don't know. That's the problem with Bank of Japan. We all expected that they intervene close to 152, and then it pushes past now to 153. We will say that they intervene at 153. Everyone will say we're looking for intervention at 154, 155, and then we see an intervention come now. So it's just very hard to predict that, right? That's the only issue that we're facing here. And yeah, you know, we know Japan is active. They keep on speaking here, right? We can see that Japan is active here. We've seen them active over the last few days, you know. So we need to see what will happen. We will have to see what happens here. And just be cautious of pure continuation. But looking at GJ here, you know, today is a day where it needs to make a decision because we can still end up retesting the highs here. If you look, we perfectly retested that 4-hour resistance. If we're going to create the lower high and this start to reverse price, because now we're starting to create for the first time. We had higher lows, higher lows. Now we're starting to create that lower high confirmed, right? We're starting to confirm that lower high and breaking this structure, which is the first structure here. It's not the most important one because it's only one candle and one opposite candle. It's not like something like this. But this, if price wants to roll over, we can see price roll over and we can start to see sells below that 191, 400-ish. You know, start to make sense on higher time frame here. So in today's session, it kind of needs to make a decision here of where it wants to go. If it diddles in the middle of this area here, it's quite tough area to trade, especially in the middle of the range. From the bottom of the range, if we see supports form and price fail, especially if we see this would be very, very nice. Would be very, very nice if we see, if this ends up coming back. Why is my drawing not working? There we go. If this price comes back to the bottom of the range, we see a little liquidity grab and get back, then we have a beautiful trading range to trade back towards the upside. That would be worth to hold runners because you could be holding in profits. Even if intervention comes, you'll be okay. Especially if you're putting your stops a little bit more in profits, it will be okay, or close half to protect for that, right? So this is something that I would be watching here. Now, if we reach the top of the range, I wouldn't be looking for sells from the top of the range. I would rather take a buy for continuation, as this is a very heavy news move and we can see money flow back into the pound here. So we'll have to see what ends up happening. We need a little bit more price action. I would like to see this gap filled just so we can deal with it. And, you know, if we get above that 192, 100 levels, that's where it would make sense for continuation of buys. Basically replicate this type of move here. That's what you'd be replicating, which is why I want to try get buys from the bottom of the range. You can see we come to the bottom of the range, change structure, close above, and continuation. This, of course, this was happened in Yeah, this happened in New York session. So this would be nice to see if we could pull back, create that change of structure, and then you could attempt buys from the bottom of the range back up. Especially if this creates a clean candle trading zone, right? So that's what I would be looking for here on pound yen. Now, or on Godzilla as I call it, right? So now let's have a look at gold, right? Let's see what gold is doing here. Obviously yesterday CPI news gave us the dump here as people put money into the dollar, left gold. That immediately got retraced, retested the highs, never got above these highs, and then retraced back down, starting to form a range at the top of our range. So it shows you how bullish gold is that it can't manage to break down here, right? It's struggling to break down. Now looking at daily time frame here, this is the first daily close after three actually daily bullish candles here. And if this is just going to be a daily top wick, we could retest as high as 2353, 2352, flip, get a wick fill, break the daily low, and then look at targets back to 2300. 2300 can be an option here and can end up filling this range eventually here. Now, we have very bullish momentum in the market. Don't be fooled. Everyone's going to be looking for sells here. Don't be fooled to see if price wants to start to break out today even. It's possibility with news later on that we could see price, because basically we are rejecting these lows. Till we have a 4-hour candle leaving this low at least 23.28, only then can you entertain targets back down to 23.05 or 2300, right? But if we start to reject the top of the range, that's where some of those options can be present here, especially with news. If news ends up coming back to the top of the range here, rejecting with a liquidity grab here, we could see price easily come back down and end up breaking through these lows and continuing down bearish here, right? And the opposite works as well, right? We could see, price come down, respect these levels here, close back in the range, and you have similar scenario to yesterday. So right now on the charts, if we look at what bias is doing, previous daily closing bearish, previous 4-hour closing bullish here, we're in mixed bias. I would consider this just a range because we're not trending at the moment. We're just ranging. So if you're trading within the range here, you need to see, okay, what's going on? Where's my zones that I can look to maximize? For buys, I think it's quite complicated here. It'll probably be the highs that we had yesterday on news, which is going to be above that 2350. If we can't get above the 2350, I don't think buys are going to make sense anyways. I don't see any buys probably before 2350 here for sure, Looking at this 15-minute structure here, I mean, you could draw it something like that, look to try trade down towards the structure here. That could be an option. I want to see what this is on 5-minute. That's pretty messy here. Yeah, it's quite a messy range. There's a lot of supports here that could easily reject. Also, make sure you're measuring your ranges on gold, because candles are quite big these days. So make sure to see that it's worth it. For example, yesterday candles, 15-minute candles here, right? 30 pip, 15-minute candles. These dumps here are no joke, these dumps, right? 130 pips. So make sure you're measuring the size of the candles, because that can change. Yeah, your targets basically for London session, if London wants to continue down, you have to worry about this watch area somewhere around here. This is the only problem you have, is this kind of watch zone right here. This is your watch zone, because this is previous support. Remember, this is all news chop here, so you want to be careful of this choppiness. Probably the bottom of these wicks here. Below this is pretty clean. Below this you're pretty clean. You have to, this wick might, but you have around 24, 25 pips here. And if you can push through that, you have around 40 pip total range here. So that might be an option. What is our trend on 4-hour on GJ? We're still bullish. 4 hours still, I mean, technically depends if you consider this enough to be a low. Definitely can be considered a low. But if you look at what 4-hour price action is doing, we're still making, this is a higher high, right? This broke it, made it a lower low, but it's still respecting the swing low. So it's still bullish until we see one more lower high. That will, so basically we're doing this. Right now we're doing this. We've gone up, right? So right now we've gone up like this. We've made a high. We've then started to do what? Once we made that high, we broke below a small structure within here. So we broke below this structure and now we're here. So if we see that, okay, now we've confirmed into downtrend. When we're inside here, we're basically making a decision, 50-50 now. We break towards the upside, we will entertain this high. We break towards the downside, we entertain this low. We're in the middle. All right. And without predicting anything, what is our current trend? What do you mean without predicting anything? Not sure what you mean by without predicting anything. So no trend? There is a trend on 4 hour. But price right now is making a decision. In the moment, no. Right now it's in decision mode. But it's leading more to the bullish side. We're not seeing price totally break down. No, but yes, it's in decision mode, but we're still in a bullish pressure here. No reason to bother with this instrument. Like dropped, appreciate it. What's your thoughts on Gbpjpy? Damn. I just gave a whole explanation on gold and Gbpjpy. Do you use order flow? No, you can't use order flow in the Forex markets. Why not sell GJ below 815? Where's 815? This support right here. Because you're fighting against that 4-hour bullish candle. Right? So you don't want to be too fast to sell here. You just get stuck in that. Remember, we've retested the lows already. We haven't retested the highs. Right? We haven't retested the highs. We've retested the lows though. The thing is, most of the time, by the way, Claudia, most of the time markets will spend in consolidation. Markets don't really move in trends. That's a big mistake people make. There's always higher time frame bias of where price is going on a higher time frame based on major levels. But realistically, markets move like this. They have a move up, which is not a trend. It's just a move up. A consolidation block, which has the trends defined inside of that. And then another move up. Some form of consolidation block, another move up, but these move ups are not trends. They're just the push up. Same like this push down, right? We have a push down, now a consolidation block. We could have a push back up, or we could push back down from this zone right here. That's the two options, right? But inside of these consolidation blocks, there's going to be micro trends, and based on your higher time frame understanding, right? Based on your higher time frame understanding, that can influence what you look for within these consolidation blocks, not trying to look from sells from the top of the range, because you know if it's going to break out, it's a higher chance to continue up. So then that means your bias is essentially more bullish, right? So that's why you don't want to concentrate too much on that stuff. We need to understand, not concentrating, but it's a factor, it has a certain score. Yeah, but that should just be based on bias, right? So when you have a solid bias, it's clear that you should only be looking for one direction. When you have a mixed bias, only then you can be looking at, okay, what is session doing? Right? So you don't have to consider. So if we look at session, now session is ranging. Session. Higher time frame, still still somewhat bullish. But session, range. That's confirmed, right? Let's see Tutorman's plans. You're looking for the sells below here? I see. But remember, this is a gap here, so I really want to see that gap filled, then we get the sells below. Buys above here, yeah, makes sense. I would raise this a little bit higher because this is a 4 hour. But if we can get above here, we can trade to this wick. These sells are pretty safer. Structure still required. It would be better to see that. No gaps on mine? Check your broker. Check your broker. I did? That's weird. I have a gap on my broker, that's what I'm saying. Speaking of which, did not open. Big boy gap on my broker, look. That's the gap I have, you see? That one there, you can see the 15-minute gap. Oh, guys on YouTube can't see it, there you go. It's been filled though? Yeah, technically with the wicks. It's just weird zone, man. We don't get that too much. Not the biggest range for sells as well. Alright, 1 hour here, previous 1 hour closed bullish, 30-minute closed bearish, but higher high, right? That's a higher high on that. So we need obviously something breaking structure towards the downside. And yes. Any chance you would look at NASDAQ, my bro? Would appreciate your view in it. Yeah, sure, man. Since you asked nicely, can I have a look at it? So NASDAQ CPI move, crazy move down towards the downside here. It's in a little bit of a consolidation. PPI today will give a little bit more hope, but you know, realistically, we've just respected the bottom of the range. I don't see a reason why we don't bounce a little bit out from the bottom of the range here before making a further decision. We could easily bounce back up to like 18,106, but you know, if it comes down a little bit first before bouncing, that's going to be the question. You probably get that move in NY, let it form structure, and then try to get above that structure, especially if you can get above 18,065. That's where it starts to look a little bit more promising to give you the move towards the upside, right? That's where you probably get your move towards the upside. So yeah, that's the analysis, that's everything. Forgot to ask for the YouTube business. If you guys haven't done the YouTube business, I would appreciate it. How many of us in here? We have 338. Appreciate everyone showing up. And we have 60 likes. I think we can get 190 likes. Why not 190? We never get to it, but in one go. But I would appreciate the YouTube business, so I don't have to ask. You guys know the drill. Hate to say it, but part of the game. Hey bro, can you give me your thoughts on CAD Chef? I don't have it in this list. What are you looking at? You can send a chart if you post the link. Not the link, but the X code in the description. I tell you how to send a chart. So you can do that. You said you don't have a gap. This is a gap. Right, we're not seeing it the same as Tradingview here where we have a candle filling it. Gold still respected that zone, right? Gold respected that zone. 1 hour time frame is still closing bearish here, but it is respecting this 1 hour support as well. So you need something to close below this for gold to continue down here. Right? 30-minute also leaving rejection above this support from here. So you need. I thought gap with no candles. There is no candles here, man. The candle opened here. There's wicks, but there's no candles. That's a gap. Let's have a look at fiber. We'll have a look at fiber and we'll have a look at cable today. So EURUSD same, bringing us back down to the bottom of the range basically is what that move did. With the 4 hour now, obviously trying to roll over at the moment. You need this to form a little bit of structure before upside. If this could close bearish, next one close above, that will tell you that there's a bounce. If not, this thing might want to even try lower here as we see the dollar strength continue. After such a heavy move, it needs to chill here. I would not trade this right now. There's not enough price action. You need for price to, basically chill in this zone. Let price chill and let it form more price action and then look to maximize moves if it ends up breaking towards the upside or if it wants to break down. But right in here, it could be tricky. With cable, same thing with cable here. Same plan, You sent your GU plan? Let's have a look at your GU plan, man. Looking for buys above. Sell below this. It's a bit tight that. I'd be careful with those sells. Where did you put those cells exactly? Yeah, I don't like those cells. Yeah, be careful with those cells. Look at this rejection zone. Heavy rejection zone. Look at that. Breaking out in London, yeah, that makes sense, But the cells, let a target form, right? Let something form, look for pullbacks, and then look to hit that. Right? Something like set up twos and stuff, which will be a lot safer than trying to trade to this chop. One safe under daily range. Yeah, daily range will be better if we could get some structure though. Prefer to see structure above daily range. On GJ, would you say today is a normal business day or choppy or investor uncertainty? Based on the price of the yen, I would say it's something that, think about it, we are considered an investor, we are considered people who are educated. How are you feeling right now on your confidence of the weakness of the yen? Let's say you were in charge of a hedge fund and you had to make a decision today to allocate, $10 million position today. What are you thinking today? We are investors. Look at Matthew. Does he look like an investor? No, he's on a call. Tell me, what do you feel? What's your thoughts on GJ? Looking to see if we can get up out of this range would be nice. I managed to have time now. Nice. How's trading? Yeah, first few days, not really much. Yesterday, we took 2 positions. One stopped break even, and then the other one was a win. I can't reply to that. No experience in investing. Investing is trading. It's just another form. So if you are a trader now, you have to allocate positions into Gbpjpy. What are you doing? You feel it's normal, or are you skeptical about the price and weakness of the yen? That will be your answer. I buy? Based on what basis? So you're confident about the yen weakness. Interventions don't have any effect, shit's going up. Of course they have effect, bro, come on. We haven't had an intervention yet. Do you get retraced immediately? Yeah, but it will affect your position. It will affect your position. I would not be scared as an investor, yeah, but investors might wait for that and then buy on that. That could be their plan. So that's what I mean, is their confidence. So the real answer here is that no, we've obviously had heavy CPI news. Money has flowed out of every single currency into the dollar. Everything has been affected. We've seen the euro be affected, the GBP being affected, the yen being affected. Everything has left into the dollar, right? Which is huge movement here. Now we need to see people have a reason to leave money from the dollar back into the GBP, right? Which means yen is cheap. If yen is cheap, then people would be buying up yen. This should be going down. A more stable currency is going to be buying the GBP against the yen. So that's where we would see investors' money be allocated. Unless they have insider information that they know that the yen is now some bloody speech or something's going to come out. And then we will see the yen do what? We see the yen get stronger. But that's something we can't predict. We can't trade based on that. But what we can trade based on is what we see in front of us. And we knew this from the beginning of the session. We are in a stage right now where price has to make a decision. It either can go up from here or it can go down, and we react based on those certain scenarios. Which means if we were to see price start to leave certain levels, that means that investors are now getting involved in the market, which means we want to get involved. If we start to see price leave another certain level, then we know, okay, fine, people are leaving, putting money into the yen, we can also get involved. And that's how it works. And that's why diddling in the middle of the range is tough, because it's not, we don't have a clear idea of where it exactly wants to go. Right now you could flip a coin and it will be the same, because yeah, retracing the move probably makes slightly more sense, you know, because why would you have to sell off that much GBP on no fundamental reason? But at the same time, there's no reason we can't see yen strength come in. So they will guide. Remember, the way the markets work is they're the big whales, we're just the little fish that grab onto the side of the whale. And that's our goal. So let them show their hand and we'll play accordingly. That's golden. I'll include all of this in notes. A book will be born. That's something really good, I think, what you've done with this handbook. We need to do something with that. Can be an amazing tool. Maybe in 1 year, yeah, we can make it something nice. There's no real trading book, right? Like proper good trading book. So it could be some, and the really, yeah, out there. And what I really like about it is it's something different. If I just go and fix a few things that I need, you know, to be a certain way, it's not written through me, it's written through someone listening to me. Which means it's the way that they've interpreted and which makes sense. Because you're taking that information and putting it down on a handbook in the way that it was stated, not forced, if that makes sense. You do it from real life example. It's like you write it as you go along, not as me, right? Like making a YouTube video, I don't make it as we go along. The live stream are so valuable because everything is live and as we go along. Like we are learning every single situation possible. Like you can't teach that. You have to see that happen in front of you and then explain it in the situation for people to understand. Like imagine me explaining what I just did about what price is doing and about the strength of the GBP and the yen and what investors, you can't, without today's scenario, that first of all that conversation would have never came up, and second of all it would be extremely difficult to picture in your head. Hi Ari, what time do you normally start? I start at 9:30 Dubai time, right? 8 a.m. No, 7:30 London time. No, 6:30 London time, right? No, I don't know. I fucking lost. Yes, 6:30 London time. Yesterday you got your first payout, $200. Nice, well done. Gold closing below. We'll see where it's closing though. Yeah, come on, bro. Look where it's closing. Was gold an option on 5? No, because you didn't have the supporting time frames. If you had the 1 hour give you the close below this 1 hour support, even though it didn't get below this, if you had the 30-minute get below the support, yes, definitely an option on 5. Right? You could take it on this this little 5-minute here. I probably wouldn't take it on this one. I'll take it on that one that closed below here. Stops above here, about 42 pip stops, and you'd have to target bottom of the range here. Watch zone, break even, top of the range. But when you don't have higher time frames supporting you, it becomes extremely tough. That is just not a bottom wick for this 15-minute to flip and continue retest the highs. Because it ends up being like this. If you look at this scenario here, where everything looks bearish, that rejection wick is a problem. But people don't acknowledge that. You then get the next candle. Didn't break the lows but formed setup number 3. Right? Rejects the high. You enter break of the low, setup number 3. Boom, you've lost. Watch. Boom, that's it. All it was a bottom wick to continue up. You're like, shit. I've been watching you trade so much that when I trade alone, I can hear your voice in my head telling the rules in front of the charts. It's so funny. It saved my ass many times. I've had a few people tell me that. It's pretty cool, to be honest. Alright, we have GJ also closing above here. See if we can get a little bit more of a push here. 30-minute close above will be more confidence inducing for upside. I don't like how close this resistance is. It's too close to really do anything, to be honest. 2.5 pips here. And this, if I were to draw a line exactly where this is, I can pretty much... This should be previous daily resistance. Just from my remembering of previous daily resistance price, what we just rejected should be previous daily resistance. Let's have a look if I'm right. Oh, come on, man. You can't fake that shit. Look at that. So yeah, we just tapped into that previous daily resistance. So still having relevance. We can see the reaction. $140 out of 200, 60 more likes. We're 152 now, 152 likes. And we can get to 200. If people are enjoying the stream, they'll leave a like. Tradesharpe, who is this night bot? Just some automatic. I don't know why it's posting so much. It's supposed to just post It's posting the link of the free Discord. And it's just posting the link of my website. Morning, Harry and everyone. Let's get the pips. Yes, sir. It's always our goal. Can you check 1 hour? We have zone at 142. 142, where? What do you think of Don blowing his account? Unfortunate, unfortunate. As a trader's perspective, it's never a good feeling for that to happen, you know. But he's not someone who's been new in this market here. If anything, it's gonna teach him a lesson, and that is what trading. That's what trading always does. I mean, if you are not going to have a risk management plan, then that's going to be a risk in your trading. Did he know about that risk? I'm pretty sure he did. Do I think that it could have been avoided? Yes, but that's the style he chose to follow, and that's the risk he chose to take, is that he wanted to be right most of the time and, you know, continue with a highest win rate as possible, but the time it goes wrong, you get messed up. So it's unfortunate. I think there could be a lot more consistency if you were to just... I wouldn't recommend that style of risking too much for a lot of people, you know. I think yeah, I think it's a little bit tough, you know. I think for sure I'll tell you one thing, is that he knows how the markets move. He trades price action well. So if anything, he's just going to amend his strategy, take this as a hard lesson, and just move on and start to adapt, you know. What percent? He lost everything, unfortunately. He stacked positions. He posted on his story. He posted it on his story. That's why I think he didn't blow his account. He posted it on his story. You can check. When did he blow his... I just saw on his story, guys. I don't know the details or what happened. It was not on live. Otherwise, everyone would have been saying that maybe it was with his signal group or something. He blew it alright last week Thursday, I believe. Damn. On his Instagram, yeah, he posted it on his Instagram, which I respect, being transparent to the industry. It always helps, but, you know, I think he'll learn a lesson from this. It was always a threat, you know, to have that, you know, very, you know, stacking positions with big stop losses is hard if it goes the other way, but it worked for a while, you know. On Friday, Raja, Don both blow their accounts. 192, 142. 192, 142. This one here. Where 142? What is 142? This one here. Yeah, since the wick tapped it, yeah, you could use it as a watch for sure. But the wick has technically tapped it. So, you know, hopefully he can amend and learn a lesson, but I think it could have... it's definitely going to teach a lesson, you know. And here's a big lesson for you guys as well, you know. Imagine the amount of experience he has in the markets and still can make mistakes like that, right? So never believe that you're on top of the market. The market will humble you anytime. Never believe that it's always going to be a smooth journey. And also never believe, and also if you're taking 1%, 2% losses, okay? Or maybe you're on a 3-trade losing streak, 4-trade losing streak, it's nothing long term. It's nothing long term when you're protecting capital because you're going to be super safe. Imagine you risk 1% per trade and you mess up and you take 4 bad trades. You're only down 4%. You have so much more room. You have time. Just be patient because as much, things can look really great, right? People can be making loads of money and things can be going really well. But at one time that can be taken away from you and all your hard work has been for nothing. We had this conversation about yesterday trading news. News looks like it can pay you a lot of money, but if you get messed up by slippage and something like that, all of your hard work of following your plan and trading disciplined is going to go out the window. Right? So day to day, don't be focusing on all of this, looking at yourself, what's going on day to day and judging your whole trading journey based on an event that happened during that day. Because if you're following a structured plan that works long term, in the long run, you'll come out on top. No matter if 1 week or a month, even if in a month, if you don't make money, don't be fooled by social media. And I think this is something that's going to be proven is that social media doesn't show the reality of trading. Trading is very respectable, slow, consistent gains, right? You can have great months, 20% months, 25% months. That is still nuts in the investing world. Nuts. They don't even offer you that per year at the highest level of investing. To make 100% a year in trading is very achievable. Very achievable to make 100% a year on your account. So don't focus on what's going on day to day and think that's going to change everything. Oh, I've had a bad week, I'm unprofitable. Don had a 62 trade winning run. Exactly, that's what I mean. He knows what he's doing, right? He knows what he's doing. The problem is that that's all taken away if there's leaks in your trading plan as well, right? So that's what I mean. Don't be fooled to think that you're on top of the world when you're doing super well in the markets, because markets are here to humble you. It can happen to anyone. So that's my point, Harry, yesterday your trade journal's incomplete. What's incomplete about it, brother? What's incomplete? Did I not put the trade here on the stream? What's not incomplete? What? I just didn't post the link or something? Yeah, just post the link, man. It takes, where the link is. It's yesterday's stream. Come on. The picture? Oh yeah, picture is true. Okay, fine. My bad. Picture, I'll let you off. Picture, I'll let you off. But no, to close that conversation, I wish him, the best, and I think he definitely knows what he's doing when it comes to price action and stuff. It's just, he has to learn a little bit a hard lesson, but it's something that can't be avoided because it's done already. So, has to move on now and keep his head high and understand that maybe something else can be changed. wonder if we can take a buy inside this range to get to the top of the range. Problem I have is stops. No way you can keep stops just here. Where's the 4-hour support? An intraday position would be an entry on this 30-minute break of high, but stops have to go maybe below this support here. That is an intraday position right now. No bottom wick on broker. I was hoping for steeper bottom wick. Let me see. I have on my broker, yeah. Yeah, that's the only way I see entry right now is that intraday position. But you have to run 38 pip stops here. Could pay off, for sure. I'm not just in the mood for holding that 38 pip stop. I want to see if we can get 5-minute comeback, form support, and then I take it towards the upside. Because just basing this trade off a 15-minute close here, you know, you're buying right into that resistance. You can't put stops here, it's too risky at the moment with these conditions. I think minimum stop here would be 28 pips. And it would be above a daily watch, above or below? What would be above the daily watch? Not sure what you're referring to. The entry of the trade? Yeah, but the candle, remember the candle did not close above your daily watch, right? So it didn't close above. Again, if you took that entry, that's fine, you know, you can do it, but you just need those big stops. Be honest, I'm not, especially after such a move down, I don't really want to hold such big stops and get stuck in a range all day. That would be really shit. Like you can't go with small stops here. Were you in that phase of frequently finding yourself in a range for the day? What do you mean, in a range for the day? Range for the day? Maybe a close above 2050? Yeah, I mean, that would be the next zone where price. Opening a trade and then stuck? I never used to run big enough stop losses, but after news moved, yes, there was a phase where I used to take trades at wrong timing. And I would always I would take a trade and get stuck in drawdown. And then I'm always hoping that it gets back in profit. Like that's what the stage that I avoided by having these more accurate entries. If you look at our entries, they have very limited drawdown. Or I try to limit as much drawdown because I notice when my trade is going the opposite way, the probabilities start, you know, to go the opposite way. So there was a phase where I would enter and then boom, straight into drawdown, always. So I was realizing that I was doing something wrong. I was entering too early, I was entering too late that I had to go and draw down, and that's what I had to fix. And for me it was because I was entering too late. That was my problem. Was feeling entering and 30 pip drawdown? Yeah, it's like you've really timed this the worst possible timing you could have done. Just noticed 50k sub. Thank you, brother. I added team support on the checklist. I'm going to add Super Mario game to avoid over trading. Damn. All in one, huh? See if we can get a 5-minute pullback that starts to leave this zone again. I might try enter based on that. GJ ideas? Let's have a look. It's up, I can't speak. Set up 1 plus thunder, I like. Wickfill would make sense, yes. Wickfill to watch the 1 hour resistance. Hello, bro. Yo. Quiet today? No, it's not that bad. We're just warming up. Just warming up. Any thoughts on gold? Yeah, gold just bounced up. It tapped the bottom of the range there. And now it started to bounce up again. We are still mixed session. I mean, that's your 4-hour support there. If this thing wants to flip, it's definitely possible. When you were beginning trading and you were experiencing times like these, or just slightly different conditions in general, did it affect you mentally? Yeah, of course. Of course, of course. But I just didn't trade for a week or something when I didn't understand what was going on. Literally. And then I would come back, like if I since, you know, I wanted to make money, I just say, okay, if I don't understand what's going on, I'm just going to leave it. And observe what's going on day to day. And most of those weeks I would only catch like one trade, or if not any trade. And then I'll come back. But markets were a lot different back. If you go back test 2021, 2022, 2020, you'll see. You don't really have the phases of where we don't have these big pushes. It's very, very rare to have a London session that doesn't do much. Can you explain what you're waiting for? I'm populating two options. One option is going to be above this range here, if we can get above the range. Second option is if we can get a retracement here, down, retest these zones to prove me that price doesn't want to go down and reflip bullish, I'll probably take that trade there. That would be nice to see. Hi, would you say that Thunder, setup 1 and setup 5 are the most high probability when in a good zone? Yeah, probably. For sure. Hi, do you explain your setups in your free content or VIP content? No, my 3 setups, which is the main setups that I use, I explain that for free on YouTube. Watching stream after a long time, welcome back, welcome back. Plan, I just joined, you guys joining late. I really recommend you, if you guys don't know, daylight saving times have changed. So be sure that you're subscribed to the channel so that you can see when we go live. You'll get a notification. Just click that notification and you can join. Then you get all the analysis in the morning. It's very important to show up early in the morning, otherwise you'll be lost. Don't become lost. We are about to close above 4 hour. We have 11 pip range above. Yeah, if we consider this 15-minute resistance, we'll need volume to push through that. Yeah, we have 11 pips, yes. This Thunder. Oh yeah, right now, yeah. I don't consider that one a good one. So close to 4-hour resistance doesn't make sense. I may go 0.3 risk. Yeah, your thing tells you can go that risk. On a C setup, yeah. Alright, 15 closed above this small structure here. No bottom wick on this current 15. Would love to see a bottom wick. Retest the 4-hour open. I want to see this 4-hour high be retested. I might try a little special setup today. Retest a 4-hour high and rejection from that zone to continue bullish. That's something that I'll look to try maybe. Give me a second, guys. Go to the bathroom, come back. How come Don never takes a pee break? I think he streams at 6:30 a.m., no? So when you get up in the morning, you take one big piss and then you don't need to pee after that. Because you're not like me. By the time you come on stream, I've got up in the morning, I've done emails overnight, I've done my cardio, I've had breakfast, and I've drank probably 1.8 liters of water already. Because I sweat on cardio. Because if you do cardio, you should sweat. So I've done all of that while you've woken up. Okay, I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole here, start insulting. We won't do that. What would you do back in the beginning when you had a losing streak? Help you figure it out? Figure out why you're losing, man. You know, it's a process of elimination. Bro, why you go straight to gamer rage? Because people be asking me stupid questions, man. Why can't I pee? What time you wake up? I wake up at 6:30. 6:30 I wake up. Morning's busy. Wake up, cardio, prepare my meals for the day, finish all admin work overnight, read a book. What are you reading? Depends what I'm in the mood for. Alex Hormozy book, depends business. I read only about business, to be honest. Business books and don't know what the word is. What do I have here? Books by Robert Greene and stuff like that. Don't know what he classifies as. Everyone should read Atomic Habits. Yeah, if you're not good at discipline, if you're not good at building habits, then yeah, you should read that book. "48 Laws," yeah, it's his very basic book, the 48 Laws. It's his very basic book. He has a lot better books. Robert Greene is human behavior? Yeah, I guess you can identify it as that. Self-improvement human behavior. So you knew yesterday when I said law number 9? Yes. I read it twice, the 48. What's your end goal in life? I don't think that's healthy. If you set that far goals, you are probably doing yourself, because at this current time, your next goal might be something like, let's say it's a stupid goal, okay? Let's say you have a goal like, I don't know, when you're young, maybe you want to buy yourself something nice, a nice house, a supercar. By the time you reach that goal, you realize how small that goal was. Right? It was a very small goal just to buy a supercar. Yes, it's very fun, but it was a very, very, very small goal. So at the end of the day, you shouldn't be setting yourself those type of limitations, you know? Just to be the best version that I could be, man. That's what I could ask for. Best version of myself. I felt FOMO that I didn't trade lately. Have you had similar experiences? Not really, no. I can see why, but I never feel FOMO for the charts, because very quickly I learned that there's going to be plenty of moves. Only very in the beginning, but remember in the beginning I was trading freaking 21 pairs. How are you supposed to feel FOMO if you have 21 pairs to look at? You're never going to feel FOMO. Would you classify yourself as financially free? In this modern day and age, yes. I would consider that to be financially free. But depends on what you consider financially free. Could I just quit everything and retire right now? It wouldn't be fun. I mean, you'd be worried. You'd have to preserve capital for sure if you want to live a good lifestyle. All depends on what lifestyle you want to live. Hi, we have rule of trading 1 hour before session and 2 hour after session. I've been doing the same with Asian session and it moves Asian open giving volume. So should I keep on doing it? Yeah, and at some time it will stop, it won't work, and then you just pull back. Don't take trades during those times, right? As long as you follow the Asian session rules. Hey man, can you be honest with my question? If you're super profitable, why do you come to YouTube? And if you're here to help community, why do you sell services if you're profitable? Because there's no harm in building additional income sources, and I enjoy it. If I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't be doing it for this long. Before I was crazy profitable, I started YouTube 4 years ago. 4 years is a long time. 4 years ago, I was not crazy profitable. So YouTube has grown as I've grown, right? Look, it's not like I've just started YouTube, and I'm just here. Go back to my old videos. You can see that they're posted 3 years ago, right? 3 years. I never sold anything. I never sold anything for 2.5 years. For 2.5 years, I never sold anything to anyone. But there's no harm in creating value, It's a service. It's a service. It's an additional income source, and I'll not say no to it, Especially if I can offer something that people want and helps them. But the main reason I did YouTube is because it's lonely and I wanted to document journey and share my experiences. Best Asian session pair, would it be worth to trade Asia market open when there's volume? Most of the year there won't be, so I wouldn't probably push yourself to trade Asia open, to be honest. Most of the time there isn't volume in Asia open, so not really worth it. You have to use big stop losses and stuff like that. $21 pair, you trade 21 pair, what the heck you gonna see at one time? Yeah, I know, I don't know what the hell I was doing, right? Now I get made fun of trading only 2 pairs, so I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. What Claudio said here. If Bill Gates is profitable, why does he sell the Xbox? Yeah, it's true. Me and my homies were thinking that once we make it in trading, we'll reveal everything we encountered in our journey to the community free of cost. We're targeting hedge funds and high frequency traders. Yeah, that's very all well said and done, but by the time you make it in trading, you're gonna be tired. You don't want to sit and trade for hedge funds millions of dollars. That's high pressure. We have to enjoy something in life. You want to be the manager of the hedge fund, not the guy who's trading for the hedge fund. You want to be in charge of that. Remember, you should try create businesses that are going to be self-sufficient when you're older. Right? You want the businesses to run for you. That's the whole point. When you've made it in trading, you've made it. Right? You want to start to reduce the time you spend at charts, reduce the times you have to, work, so that you can go and enjoy. not just do more work. And I already always had that model of providing the community with as much value as possible, right? That's why my channel has full value. I mean, I post my course for free. Like, anyone in the exclusive group who has my information, they can tell you that YouTube is enough information. The group teaches you how to apply the information and gives you a good structure. Gives you a good structure and gives you a little bit more in depth because we have more time in there, right? Wonder if we could break out today. Think you're the only profitable live streamer this year so far? That's a pretty cool achievement if that's the case. Pretty cool achievement. Yeah, a lot of people not finding it easy this year, right? And guess what the main difference is probably between me and them is that I'm not trying to force trades every single stream to impress people. Lorenzo is profitable? Yeah, I'm sure I'm not the only one, but what I hate about people selling courses and signals, that is, if you're good, then make money from the market, not from people. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if they're selling signals, you know, courses I think are out of date now. I think you can find good information, no need to buy a course, but instead be part of a community. And I give a lot of things for free, and I tell you what, when you give stuff for free, people take it for granted. That's a good comparison. Would you rather lose money but with a lot of subscribers, or slowly build subscribers during the years of work but preserve and increase capital? I'm doing definitely the second one. I could have easily pushed my channel to a lot of subscribers if I posted lifestyle. There's no lifestyle. Listen, I could easily make my life look really, really lavish. I live in a country that people dream of coming down to flex as a Forex guru. You know, it's not hard for me to do that. If I really wanted to, I could. Good morning. Good morning, man. All other YouTubers post their cars and watches. Yeah, a little bit, you know, post your achievements, but don't build your whole brand on that, right? Like, it's okay. If you want to share something that you've achieved, fine, but make sure that there's value that backs it. It should not be the opposite. The value should not be what they possess. The value should be in what they do. What they possess is their achievements. Like, I could sit here, I could flex something on you guys that is worth a lot more than these gurus supercars that I possess. But no one's going to care about it, except for people who really understand. So I don't do it. Just sit here and keep quiet. All right, get some action here. Let's see what's going on. See if GJ wants to clear the range. Retest for a high with close above. Yeah, it doesn't have to retest. Would be nice to just see some close above, 5-minute structure formed, and then continuation. No real place to put SL? Yeah, that's why we need 5 structure. It's very hard when you're trying to get in the range. What a nice push, wow. What time is this? London Open. Alright, I see you. I see you, I see you. I guess these options in the range put big stop losses continuing to play out. It's just you can't imagine that you're going to get that 31 pip move, but you're already 21 pips out of that 30 pip move, right? Yeah, congrats to anyone who took that higher time frame position where you just put your stops below the range here. Was pretty good here. Was pretty good, was pretty good. Who decided to take the higher time frame position? Let's see in chat. AD did? Nice. See? It's good. That's my goal. You asked me what's my goal. My goal is for people to be competent enough where they don't need me. And people who say no, what's the reason behind it? Is it because you just wanted to find a session position? You know? Diz took it. Nice. I think here is a good spot to be break even. There's no point to lose this trade right now. 100%. Would you take profit? You could start to, you know, this has no bottom wick here, a little bit sketchy, no bottom wick, of course. You could always trail on 1 minute structure, you know, get out 1-to-1. You had 30 pips stop loss, you're up about 20 pips. You know, your next take profit zone is going to be this area here, right? That resistance. That's your 15-minute resistance. So you could just trail on 1 minute, you know. I'm BE, yeah, just hold at BE. I don't think there's no way you should lose this trade, right? We've passed 4-hour resistance, we're past everything. Someone asked me to look for in the public Discord. Who was it? Where did they send their chart? Swiss franc USD. Yeah, that's your take profit here. So if you want to close some, this is where you should be closing some right here. And then you can either close full if you want to secure something for the week, or you can try leave a runner from here. You know, just see what happens. Because if this thing just starts flying, you know, it will be good. I'm trailing 1 minute, yeah. Could always close 80%, leave 20% runner for fun, right? After this push, it's very hard to enter. If you didn't take the swing position, very hard. Not swing, but intraday position, it's very hard. I think intraday positions are still going to be the thing till now. Till the end of this week. But we're getting volume back in London, so it's very, very good. It's very, very good. Wait for pullbacks? Yeah, if you didn't enter that swing position, we discussed the option if you were comfortable taking that. I just didn't want to get stuck in a range all day. Not really something I don't mind. Like for me, it's not... Missing this is not really, I don't feel anything. It's not, I know there's plenty of moves tomorrow, day after, and I'm taking it easy until we see nice consistency come back into the market here. I'm not in a rush, you know, but as a move, just taking a move for the day, then I feel that this is going to be, that was the position, you know. But it's nice to see it happen in one go here. I literally could not expect that to happen in one go because of what we've been seeing. So long didn't happen in London? Yes. Been a while. Yep. Intraday position's the thing here, man. You just need to take them, I guess. Don't care about holding 30 pip stop loss getting hit. Volume comes at some point. No continuation play. You don't have anywhere for stop loss. Look at 5 minutes. Straight green candles. It's not a continuation play. It's a FOMO play. But a lot of you will be feeling FOMO in this move, right? Because you see these big green candles. You're like, I missed it. I wish, why wasn't there a way in? How can I get into this? Blah, blah, blah. You're going to be feeling like that because you see this move happen in front of you. Now, the reason that you have to look at is, okay, fine. Was there a way for me to get in? If there was, why didn't I get in? For me, it was very simple. I just did not want to get stuck in a range all day, even though I knew there was options. You know, this would have been a 1% trade, 1-to-1, right? Because you get your 30 pip stop loss here for your 30 pip target right now. So that's your 1-to-1 made. It's not like you missed a 30 pip move because your stop was 30 pips, right? So it's, for me, this is the same as catching, you know, a 15 pip stop, you know, with a 15 pip target. Now, the main thing for me is that we're getting volume in here. I very much know that I can get a pullback and find another entry sooner or later on this. Me, I risk half of what I made this morning. Yeah, there you go. Like, you're basically risking half of half risk then, right? Because you're risking half of what you made initially. For me, the number one thing you teach is caution, discipline. My wife asked me why I watch you. That's it. Trades are everywhere. FOMO kills. Profits are the ultimate tease. Yeah, exactly. Trades are everywhere, and that's facts. Like, if you sit at the charts all day, you will miss trades all the time. You know, and then the one you FOMO into, you lose. These days, gold big stop loss is working than smaller. Yeah, because candles are bigger, right? Candles are bigger. So my plan today was, okay, I don't want to take the position with the big stop loss. I was waiting for something like yesterday where we didn't have to use a big stop loss yesterday, right? We just got the close above here. Close above and continuation. Right? Close above, continuation. Stop loss below the lows, 13, 14 pips here. Hey, Harry, any chance you can walk through an intraday setup? Yeah, the only difference between intraday and a scalping setup, scalping we expect to get to point A to B as fast as possible. Intraday you just expect price to continue in that direction during the day. So in this example, you just find any way that makes sense to enter for price to go up. So this setup 1, but you know that since we're in the range, since there's resistance, since there's 4 hour, you have to give yourself room in case price wants to do what? Wants to chop like this, right? And then just slowly end up doing that. It's kind of the same scenario as this, right? Whenever you have a deep pullback, let's say you just took a buy here, right? You took this buy here, and let's say you didn't take profits because stops were top of the range, right? 22 pips, not enough to take profits. You have to hold through that pullback. But during the whole day, what ended up happening? It did end up playing out, right? You did get that, 50 pip move that you were looking for if you held stops intraday, right? But that pullback you had to hold through and survive, right? With your stops below the range, or at least below this structure. So you're not putting a tight, because classically, let's say we take a setup 3 on this, right? Which was an option, but let's say we want to take a setup 3, we would take something like that. We'd put stops below here, 10 pip stops, and that's your scalp trade, right? That's a nice little scalp trade. But intraday, you're looking at bigger stop losses, holding throughout the day, because we have not seen volume come in like this recently, right? So you can't rely on that, but you can rely on structure holding. What do you think about 191.80 structure stops? 191.80. Yeah, that's fine, but the problem is your risk to reward is going to be crap, right? You can take that, but risk to reward is going to be very bad. Right? You'll have to run 38 pip stop, and you don't know where this can stop. Great to see London volume. It is nice to see it back. It gives us confidence for the next coming days. I really wanted to try get the deeper bottom wick on 30 and then re-enter on the flip. Just in case we get those FUs, because remember we've been getting those FUs, and today's mixed bias. It's not technically bullish bias. So we can't rely on 100%, just ripping it anywhere. Any pullbacks now will give you opportunities for upside. So that's all you have to wait for if you want to take the secondary move here. Next move is pullbacks to continue. I think I need to try to close 20-30%, just trust the trade that will play out. Yeah, depends on what your target is though, right? Depends on what your target is. If it hit your target, then closing profits is not a bad thing. You hit your target. Target was here. 192 100s, right? That's target. Too late to get in big push? Yes, that's why you have to wait for pullbacks, right? just tapped into this zone here as well. So we might naturally have some sort of pushback from here. S2, S5, yeah, S2 fine. Thunderstorm also, not thunder, setup 3 also fine. Would have been nice to rip it somewhere 5-minute close. Maybe would if we got a 5-minute close above the resistance here to get to 4 hour. It's very close to 4 hour, but if we knew that there's volume, that's when we can start trading based on volume again, right? Relying on volume to break through zones. Otherwise, this trade could be very simple. 30-minute close here. Break of high to get to the top of the range. 10 pips. 15 pips stop there. That would have been very nice. And that's the problem, is that these moves look very simple once it's played out, because we don't have confidence that volume is back. Yesterday was the only time we saw volume coming back. We've had heavy CPI news. We need to see if that's still the case or not, right? Yo, yesterday in New York session, I didn't take any trades. It was CPI. It was not the easiest conditions to trade. Everything's moving fast. Things are going crazy. Right? See, thoughts gold set up 5. Let's have a look at breaking that high. Just want to be careful of this rejection zone. Yeah, basically where it is. Yeah, after that bottom wick, basically where it is right now is where you have to be careful. If you did get involved, quite big stops, 43 pip stops, you're really looking for this to move here. But this is where you need to be careful though. That's the only thing that would make me uncomfortable where it is right now. Could just retest this and fail. But you could always manage with a 5-minute candle closing back inside the range. As long as it respects, you can see the reaction already, so it's starting to cause little difficulties. You just don't want the rejection. Can you look at GU? Yeah, what's GU doing? Yeah, GU had similar breakout, close above, you know. But with GU here, you had just one straight candle here. One straight candle here on GU. So you have to run again. Like GJ, big stop loss. Yeah, 20 pip on GU is pretty big, right? Alright, move to 1 minute. Man, if you just want to leave a runner, you can leave at break even and leave 20% running, and you secured 80, leave the 20%. You know, let it come back to break even or just continue here. You could get a 100 pip move out of this. One hour being my go-to. Try get in from the bottom of the range. Yeah, from Asian session. I didn't enter because it had small wick. Yeah, I think even like if I was looking at this GU trade right here, I'd be like, okay, where am I gonna put stops? You know, 5-minute structure. Oh, we don't have it. Okay, my only option is to get in stops below the range. Is it worth it? 20 pips for 12 pips here. I'm not sure. You know, pull back, continue. Yes. Same thing here. Fine. What's my options? Only option was here. 15-minute resistance, very close to 4 hour. Did I have good bottom wick? No. Option, put bottom of the range, rely on this range holding. We're not bullish bias today, we're mixed bias. So just rely on the range holding. You have to rely on the range. Realistically, you need 39 pip stops to be really safe. Did we know this volume is going to come? No. Do we know now? Yes. Can we use that information? 100%. Are we back? We are back. Do I hear birds in background? No. I'm just getting spam with messages. Oh, those birds. Yeah, there are birds. I have a tree next to me. Some plants as well. Outside. Those are birds. Harry, do you think trading the news I'll become profitable in trading or normal days are better? Yes. Normal days are better. Don't trade the news. That's silly. Cheers, man. Take care. Enjoy your sleep. Oh, you're saying 940 was 940 an entry? Yes, but stop loss had to be wide here. And the reason why is we've not been seeing price play out on the first push. That would be abnormal to see price play out on the first push. So stops would have to be at least minimum 31 pips. Just to be on the safe side here. You don't want this to fail. Only come back to retest to continue. Look at it on 1 hour. It would not be breaking anything. You would still be valid because we could just remain in this range all day. Right? This could just remain in this range before volume came in because we don't know that this volume was going to come. This is a question mark. You know, we don't know. This is now we're seeing it come back. But you guys remember Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? You know? So we have to be careful. Yesterday was the only day really. So you have to be careful that this doesn't just reject here, come back down. You get stopped just to do this, create another higher low and give you the move. And then when you look back at it, all it was a higher low. You know? All it was something like this, another higher low to continue up. But you got stopped. I wish we saw consistency, then this would be the move of the day, this one here. It's like you just have to take every single option. Would be nice to see a huge pullback on GJ here to enter an NY. Any form of consolidation, anything will give you entries. You don't enter on 30 minutes when 15 minutes not clean. There was an entry at 947. We spoke about that. I told you guys you can take it. I kept saying, take it, but you put the wide stop loss. The only reason I was uncomfortable, I didn't want to hold range. I thought today could be like yesterday, where we can just get that, like we had that same option yesterday with wide stop loss, but you just enter above the range then. So I was saying, okay, fine, if we're going to get that, then I can just take buys above this range. I'll find a way in. But we just got this massive volume candle here that just shot through straight through the range. No stopping. No stopping, no stopping. I'm gonna get some steep, left a runner. Where would you put TP? Just leave it open, man. Just leave it open. If it's just a runner, you're just trying to let it run, right? So you leave it open. Could last till tomorrow. You know? Your stops are B. Worst thing that happens, you wake up and your runner's at B. That's the worst possible case scenario. I'm surprised your win rate isn't higher. Damn, bro. 79% is nuts. And you're telling me you're surprised it's not higher? Damn. I'm fearing an intervention. That's the only reason I didn't want to hold the trade as well, in case some BS happens, right? I don't want to be stuck in the range. But this came in one move. This is exactly the way you would have wanted it to play out. In one smooth move here. Which is a session trade. You don't have to fear interventions when you're just trading literally a couple of 15-minute candles here. Like my two entry options were, okay, maybe 5-minute close above here. We never got. And then that first option here, break of this high. I guess those were the option. But again, this first option, I feel you have to put wider stop loss. The second option here, I feel you could get away with 19 pip stop loss. This structure here. Clean range to left. Just be careful some of the levels. This is a news candle here. We can retrace some of that news, but just be careful with the levels. Did you add yesterday's trade in the win rate? I don't really remember. Let's go and check. Let's see. I don't remember. 58 wins and now I have, yeah, 59. Yeah, it's updated now. It's updated now. I just haven't adjusted the percentage, but yeah, it is updated. Right, looks like we're going to get that pullback. Now it's just a game of patience, right? Let the pullback happen, and then we'll take the moves after the pullback happens. So that's what I'm going to wait for, and then we'll pick it up from there. Looking at tomorrow we have GBP, GDP, so this should be good. This is at 10 a.m. So we'll see what happens after this. Should bring hopefully some volume in, and then we can look to profit off this volume. Overall, a complicated, not complicated week, but a different week. Kind of just want to refresh, you know, and then now we see this come back into the market. It's very nice to see. I'm just happy that we're moving, man. It was very dull when we just range and then move at a random time. So this is nice to see indeed. So we can definitely capitalize off this. We have plenty of room. I'm sure a setup will formulate later if you guys are trading. Wait for pullbacks, supports to be formed. Even taking it from those supports formed, can be an option if you have nice structure form, especially above the range. That will be easy, you know, to look for that. So that's all you have to wait for. So so yeah, look for that. I'll catch you guys tomorrow on tomorrow's stream. Let's see if we can now start to get a little bit more positions, a little bit more active, now that I have trust, right? Now that I have trust that we're seeing moves, now that I'm seeing moves play out, I can start to trust that a little bit more and take, you know, take more trades here. So that's how it is. That's how it is. So I appreciate everyone showing up as always. Really a pleasure to have you on stream. I hope you guys are benefiting from it and finding value. Be sure to show up, because I don't want you guys leaving stream and then coming back and complaining, saying, oh, we don't take trades, and then when you leave, we take all the trades, right? And then it's like, then you guys come back and complain. So don't make that mistake. You know, learn, follow the process, and that's how it's going to be. So appreciate everyone. Take care. No, don't be risking 10% on a 5K account. Yeah, just don't be risking 10%, man. Just look to risk 3% to begin with max, you know. So yeah, keep it like that. Anyways, take care all, and hope you found something useful, and let's see if we can continue this momentum here and get some nice options. So take care and speak to you guys very, very soon. Peace. Double biceps. Damn, press the wrong button.